desk.
Thank you, gentlemen. I want to start off right at the beginning, champion select here, because we saw Elise go in the second rotation here, someone that we might have expected to go a little bit sooner than that.
Yeah, it's strange because it does feel in a lot of ways like Elise and Nidalee are the two top-tier junglers, and you could very, very early on tell what Renegades was going for when they did Kog'Maw and Nunu. It's like, all right, protect the Kog'Maw. And Elise was just a free choice for Shrimp after that. It was an interesting champ select nonetheless.
I agree. Imagine if RNG, in their first rotation, instead of picking, I think it was Lulu and Nunu?
Yeah, they picked Kog and Nunu. Instead of
Kog
Nunu, if they just picked Elise.
Yeah, if they picked Elise and Kog, even if the Kog is there and they know it's a Kog, they don't know if Alex is playing it mid or if Maple is playing it bottom. So you can make your team comp a poke composition with the Elise and the Kog'Maw mid, or you can have it on bottom and do whatever you want with it. But Elise and Kog'Maw would make a lot more options for them in team comp, and they just kind of choke themselves into one composition right off the bat.
Yeah. Right, it also put them into the situation where they needed to get to late game. They needed to scale. But Coast, as we saw, got ahead very early on in this game.
Yeah, well, one thing that can be said is Coast has had a tendency to not be able to close games. So in that sense, the Kog'Maw made maybe a little bit more sense with the Nunu. Say, we're going to get to 45 minutes and then Kog'Maw is going to kill everyone. But if you're going to start the game and invest 2 ganks in the mid lane, and then that sacrifices a turret and a dragon, that's not a good recipe for getting to late game.
Right, yeah, we saw multiple attempts there by 3 members of Renegades into the mid lane, wasting a lot of time early. Turret and dragon go to Coast. They even make a return gank into the mid lane. Once a gold lead has been established, we actually have that replay. We're going to pull that up onto your screen. 11 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. Jat, take us through this one.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell RNG was just really set on getting Alex each ahead, because I think that was core to their strategy of getting the game late, as if they could stall it with the split pushing Zed. But as we see here, like, Coast was just ready to respond in any way. Yes, Kong Quan was caught, but they were able to answer with a teleport. Peking Wolf is absolutely there. They have the exhaust to delay the kill in the first place. Shrimp was able to match Crumbs, and Elise is a better skirmisher than the Nunu in that situation. And off of those players being low, they picked up 2 more turrets on top of trading the kills.
And even then, that gank middle lane, Crumbs got the kill, so Alex didn't even get ahead there. He didn't gain anything. He just got, I don't know, maybe 25 gold off the assist.
And the person who got more ahead there was Chris for Coast. We saw this massive disparity between the 2 top laners. RF was just getting manhandled on that Lulu by Chris, and it kind of relegated the rest of Renegades to having to clear waves the entire time because of the pressure that was on the map.
Yeah.
That's a big weakness in their composition there, is they didn't get Alex ahead, which meant they had no split push, which kind of defeated the purpose of their comp. They didn't really have a front-to-back comp. If they had, say, an Azir or a Victor or something like that, they'd at least have a big damage dealer who poses a threat besides Maple. In that game, only Maple was a threat, and Zed just couldn't get going, so they just couldn't make anything out of that.
Now, all this being said, even with this gold lead that Coast had accrued, we did see a small moment of weakness here in that they had the Baron stolen away from them, right? If you're looking for ways to throw a game away where you have a 7K gold lead at 23 minutes, well, giving away a Baron steal is one of the ways to do that. We actually have this clip. We're going to pull it up as well, 23 minutes into the game. And if you don't mind Porpoise walking us through this, that'd be wonderful.
Okay, so here they try to clear the vision around Baron, and this is their team comp's goal, is to just clear all the vision, but they actually got vision of Elise repelling there, and that was a huge I'd say misplay, is just to not be patient with that. And they actually saw them start it, and now they're coming through the back. And they should just stop this Baron by this point, because the Consume Smite is right there. It's almost a for sure steal. And they just let him jump in and get the steal. And now all they can do is just kill Crumbs. And that's a Baron for just 1 kill. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, and one thing I really liked, Porpoise, is when we were watching this game, you said that's almost a typical challenger play, because it seemed like they made the call of let's do Baron right off the bat, and then could not deviate from that call after the fact. Even when they saw the Nunu, you have a Korean-speaking jungler, you have a call where you think you're doing Baron clean, and you can make it go.
I think that just roots from a little bit of a lack of confidence that if we pull off of this, we can just get it later. We can do more plays later. But they felt like they had to do it now.
Yeah.
And they just fell apart because, well, they could have ended the game faster. They didn't fall apart. They won the game.
Yeah.
But they didn't end it as fast as they could. And we said before at the beginning that Coast just doesn't really know how to end games properly.
Yeah.
And that was a big, good example of that right there.
An example of why they can close the games. Also an example of why the RNG team composition actually does make a whole lot more sense. And even though Coast got away with it this time, it's not like their weakness has disappeared. It's still potentially a big player in the series that they can't close games efficiently.
All right, so let's move on to game 2 here. Coast is up 1-0, but adjustments can be made. As we mentioned, best of 5 series. If you're on the side of Renegades, what are you looking to change in these 10 minutes that you have before you get back on stage?
Yeah, I actually have some ideas for them. I don't think they should go for a protected cog comp. I think they should go for more something like Elise, Morgana. Those were good picks for them, I think, because they have really good teamwork when it comes to roaming around and helping each other out. And if they have Nunu and Lu, they just can't roam as well as they can with champions like Elise and with Eve and things like that. So I think they should kind of switch their game plan around a little bit and go for more mid-game oriented champions that can make picks and plays.
Yeah, one thing that I liked from Coast side, actually, with the draft that St. Fish has put together, was it was a very generalized team composition with a lot of versatile champions. And if they can win that matchup against a very specified team comp like Protect the Kog'Maw, Saint should just allow Renegades to keep outthinking themselves. Like, if Renegades wants to have a specific 5-man composition in mind and not really care about any of the counter picks, like, why in the world would the first pick Braum say, all right, time to do Protect the Kog'Maw? Like,
Right.
they had an exact thing they wanted to do, that team comp. And if St. Vicious is confident enough in his guys and they've shown that they can win, literally just save for the counter picks. That's all he should be going into the next champ select with in his mind.
Right, so we keep in mind here that Renegades is moving over to the blue side for
The red
this
side's
next.
perfect for counter picking.
Exactly. So they're not going to have that opportunity if they want to, tilt that mid lane matchup that we were looking at the beginning of the day, where we saw Renegades. They were also trying to focus that mid lane matchup. Without this counter pick now, what you do wonder, where are they going to pivot to? Are they going to go trend earlier in terms of scaling earlier mid game, like you mentioned, because the Kog'Maw clearly didn't work out. You can't give up 7K gold leads, when you're looking to go to 45 minutes into the game.
Not really at all.
Well, yeah, in no situation is the 7K gold lead, something that you just want to offer up to people. But anyway, we'll see if those teams can make the proper preparations moving into game 2. We're going to step away while they do so. Match 2 begins between Renegades and Team Coast in just a bit. Don't go anywhere.
Good question. Ref, is it allowed for Alex to squat? Go for it.
Squats appear to be permitted.
What's the legality on squats?
TP comes in a bit late. Remilia, one hit from dead, can't quite reach. There's the hop. There's the Q. Boomerang from downtown. He's got Black Shield on. He's gonna get it. Crom steals the Baron, but now what's gonna be the backside of this one? Gets chunked down, can't steal enough. Gets killed up, and there's still more kills coming through. It's a 4 for 2, all said and done. Crum's gonna be the 5th, and that means Baron.
Ulting.
Careful.
I'm on turret.
Go. Eyes on you. Help me.
Turret. Right here. Peel back.
And game 1 goes to Coast.